Hey everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am here today to show you how to make a gingham quilt, and we are starting right at the sewing machine. I actually have completed about half of my quilt top because I wanted to make sure I could get it done and ready for this video, and now I am going to show you how I did that. I'm also going to show you the stack of fabric that I used, just like this. I have 3 of these sets available on eBay. Go check down below in case you want to make this exact same quilt and you don't want to do all the cutting. If you do want to cut, I will let you know that you're going to need 5-inch squares or 5 1/4. Mine are 5 1/4 because that's what I could get out of my fabric. But I do want to say that when I was putting mine together, the darks, I had like 2 or 3 where there was a little bit of the selvage. That one was really short, and I tried my hardest to get 5 1/4. I like to cut 8 across the width of the fabric. However, it wasn't like a rough, thick selvage, but I could see the little tiny pinholes from how they have the fabric attached. And that totally got lost in the seam allowance. But I did want to let you know that I am aware of that. I had already cut all the sets, so there's nothing much I can do about it. And if you want to cut your own, you are going to need, first of all, for gingham, you need a light or white. Gingham is usually white for the lightest color. And then you're going to need a medium and a dark. You want your medium and your dark to be in the same color family. So like medium and dark red, medium and dark pink, medium and dark yellow. I went with browns just because at the time I'm recording this, it happens to be fall, and because I love brown. For the light or white, you are going to need just 20 squares. For the medium, and I think I said this backwards the other day in a video, I know I said you needed twice as much of the white or light, but no, it's twice as much of the medium. So for the medium, you need 49 squares. However, you're going to get 50 from me because I didn't want to leave you with a weird number of 49. And then for the dark, you need 30. So this packet right here is 100 squares. They are rotary cut with a ruler on my mat, pressed before I cut them. So a lot of time went into this, and I only have 3 available on eBay, so go grab one if you want one. If you want, you can always go buy solid color charm packs. Just make sure you get enough for your light, medium, and dark, or you can cut your own, and how much yardage you need for each really depends on the size blocks you want and how big you want the quilt top. This quilt top should come out to be, geez, I can't remember what my notes say. I think like 43 wide by 53 tall. And let's just get started, shall we? We're going to create this with squares as opposed to with strip sets. It can be done with strip sets. There are a lot of videos out there that show you that. I just felt like doing squares, so that's what I'm doing. For the first row, and I'm going to complete each row at a time because I don't want to get confused in any way. So that's how I did it when I was working on this last night. Let's start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 darks. This is for your first row. You want 5 darks and 4 mediums. I pulled them and put them here so I know this is what I'm working on right now. And we're just going to sew a dark to a medium. There's going to be 1 extra dark, which we will attach at the end. I'll show you. There's no right or wrong side to these, so just slap them together any old way. It doesn't matter which one you put on top. Now I still have this one. We're going to take care of that one here in a minute. For every row, we are going to finger press to the medium. Because when we do the row that has the white, we don't want to press to the white because it might show through a little bit, so we press to the medium on that row. If we press to the medium on this row also, then our seams will nest, and that does come in very handy for when you're doing long strips like this. So when I say press to the medium, and mine is actually pressed the wrong way, you want this flap here in the back to be against the medium. See, this would be pressing to the dark side, and this is pressing to the medium. So I want it like that, and I like to finger press because it makes it so much easier to press the whole strip because it's already laying down flat. So I'm going to do the same to this one. I'm going to press to the medium side. I like to do it upside down sometimes a little bit first to get it in the right position. And I'm going to sew, not like this. We don't want the same colors touching. I'm going to sew like this. So I'm going to lay this down, and to get it as accurate as possible, I make sure my top line is straight all the way across. Do my two others. Press to the medium. Press to the medium. And sew. Open. I'm pressing this new seam to the medium. And this one to the medium. And we're going to connect this now. The rows are 9 blocks wide. And no matter how hard you try, seriously, I tried very hard, it's next to impossible to get all these intersections to match. You really just don't need to worry about it. And even though I rotary cut these, you know, on a mat and was very careful, it doesn't take much. I mean, just a fraction of an inch off, and it alters the size of the block. So I do the best I can, and all you can do is do the best you can, and then we're not going to worry about anything else. So we have this one piece left. Now, most videos that you see, they will have their gingham quilts starting with a dark and ending with a light. It's weird to me to have it start with dark and end with light. I like it to be ending with dark because it makes like a border that matches all the way around. So you're going to take your last lonely square of dark, and you're going to stick it on the end where there's a light. And I will finger press to the medium. And this is what we have. A nice long strip like this. You're going to make 6 identical strips like this. We have 5 darks and 4 mediums. Now we're going to do our strips of medium and light. This time we want 5 mediums and 4 whites or lights. I'm going to just say whites because generally that's what everybody uses. And same thing, we are going to connect a white and a medium. And we're pressing to the medium. And do make sure that you check. You want to make sure that you have your right sides facing. And it's sometimes easy to mix that up because there is no right side or wrong side. So make sure that your finished seams are both on the inside and that your seam edges are both on the outside. And once again, we have one lonely piece of the medium, so we're going to put that on the end where there is a white. You're going to make 5 strips like this one. And other names for this, gingham is the most popular, at least in the United States, but some call it buffalo plaid or buffalo check. Now we're going to put our rows together. You can go press your seams if you want. I'm good with the finger pressing. You're going to take a row, let's start with this one, a dark and a medium row, and a medium and light row. And we're going to slap these suckers together. So again, make sure you have right sides facing, and I don't think it matters which way you go, the seams will always be nesting, yes. And this is what I mean by seams nesting. One will go in one direction and the other is going in the other opposite direction, so it's nice and flat. And if you want, you can go ahead and put a pin. You know, you can go look at all your intersections and make a pin. And I want to tell you that if you ever find where the intersection just isn't going to match up, like let's say one would be like way off, you look at your longest block, let's say it would be this one, you know, these two. You can, before you sew, you can take that seam and sew a little bit on the inside of your line just to shorten those, and then it'll be like almost a perfect match. See, this is why I don't do strip sets, because I'm not thrilled with sewing strips, especially on camera, because it's clumsy. I was just in the mood to cut squares, which ended up being quite a time-consuming process because I'm used to doing my scrappy cuts. Scissor cut on the fold. All right, I'm going to sew these together. Once I get through one intersection, I look and see, okay, and I'm going to hold this one down. Now I'm going to look at my next, making sure that my seams are still going toward the medium. Constantly reminding myself that there are no tears if they're all fucked up. You know, I would tend to love to do everything the perfect way, but I just don't have the time to do it. And no matter how much I do it or try to do it, it's frustrating because it's hard to be perfect. It's just hard. So I'm constantly reminding myself by saying it to you guys over and over and over again that we just need to stop worrying about it. I'm trying hard to practice what I preach. Please don't tell me I'm running out of bobbin thread. And this is what we have. Let's see how I did. I did, wow. It's amazing how much better I do when it's daytime and I'm not dead tired. Okay, I'm off there. I'm glad. That will give you an example. But look here. And of course it will look better when it's pressed. Those intersections are pretty damned good, don't you think? And then, you know, some of these are too, but then we have one here. This is, I think, my worst one. Where is it? Where are you? Right there. You can tell this one is off by quite a bit. I'm proud of that. Proud that I'm not crying. Now what you're going to do is slap 2 more strips together, and then 2 more, and then 2 more in the same way, dark medium, and then with a medium white. And then when you get those all made, you can press them at this point if you want. It's a little bit easier than pressing the whole thing at the end. Then you're going to start putting 2 and 2 together. I happen to have one right here, and you want to make sure that you're putting them together in the right way. So it's going to be alternating, like if your row is white and medium and then dark and medium, the next row has to be white and medium. Like this. And that's how you're going to get your gingham pattern. I don't know if it's going to look as ginghamish with the browns. Usually gingham is like red, yellow, lighter colors, but I wanted to go with brown. And slap all your rows together, get it all pressed. That's what I'm going to do right now. Then I will have it on the bed, we'll look at it, and I'll give you my final thoughts. You guys, This came out great. I don't know why I always feel like I need to hang it off the edge of the bed a little bit. It is gingham. It looks gingham. I'm so happy with this. Very sad, though, that my iron decided to die on me. I could not press this the way I wanted, so it's quite wrinkled, especially, from putting my final rows together. But other than that, it's awesome. Now, I want you to notice, see, the way I make it, the border all the way around is the dark and medium. If you look at other videos, most of them will be dark just on one side and on the top or bottom, and then these two are the medium light rows. Pretend that these last two rows don't exist and it ends like that. I don't know, looks lopsided to me. So that is why I went with squares instead of strip sets and slapped it together the way I did. Let me give you some numbers. If you want to make this size, and that ended up being 43 wide by 52 tall, so I really like that. For the white, you need only a ½ yard. That's if you're making 5 1/4 inch squares. You need only 20, but you're going to cut 3 strips at 5 1/4, and each strip can be cut into 8, so you will end up with 24. You need only 20. For the medium, you need 1 1/4 yards. 6 strips will get you 48, but you need that one more because you need 49. So that last strip, you can go ahead and cut all the squares and then just use the others for something else, or you can cut just one square out of that last strip. You need 49 medium. For the dark, you need 30, and you're going to need 2/3 of a yard. That again gives you quite a bit of wiggle room. You're going to cut 4 strips and then cut each strip into 8. And that gives you 32 squares. You only need 30. Do remember, if you buy one of my kits of the pre-cuts, you're going to get 50 of the medium, and you only need 49. So just put that other one in your crumb stash. That's a bonus block. Had I been able to press this, the rows you press away from the white. Creating the rows, you press everything to the medium. It's easy to remember. When you're joining the rows, you can press away from the white. This is easily a 1-hour quilt top if you are starting out with pre-cuts. And again, you can go buy charm packs as long as you can get them in solids, and do whatever you want. It's kind of fun to go pick out the fabrics. I think next time I would like a fabric with just a slight print in it, just to see how that goes. I'd also like to do this with postage stamp size blocks. I think that would look super cool, but boy, it would be a lot of work. I have flipped seams on the back, so if you plan on bidding on this on eBay, because I have it up as a penny auction. People ask me, what is a penny auction? It's an auction that starts at a penny, and the highest bid ends up getting it. It's free shipping for anyone in the United States. Outside of the USA, you have to pay shipping through eBay's global shipping program. So go check out the link down below. Go look for the links down below for the 3 kits that I have. I put a lot of work into cutting those. I hope somebody wants them. If not, I'll always have a way to use them in other projects. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it very much, and I will be back with more soon. Please subscribe. Bye.